Today I'm doing a full look using Runway Room products. So today I'm featuring this pack here. So it's actually a contouring, highlighting and baking sort of pack. It's retailed at $145 Australian dollars, but it is on special for $99. It is honestly so easy to work with and so amazing. I could not recommend it anymore. So there's a Conceal and Illuminate palette in here, which it contains two darker contour sort of shades, a pink flesh concealer, and then like a more skin tone sort of concealer, and also a highlight. So I use that palette to literally contour my whole face. I didn't use any powder contours or highlights. I popped on a little bit of the Peach Punch blush by Runway Room, which is of course my favorite blush. You guys would know, I mention it in every single one of my videos. It has a highlight through it, so it's absolutely beautiful. It works on every skin tone. It also comes with a concealer brush, so I use this to conceal and to contour, and also a beauty blender, which I use to blend out all of the creams and to bake under my eyes and under my contour with. So definitely head over to the Runway Room Instagram page to check it out more. You can also go on their website, read more about the pack. So it has a few concealer shades here, and it has a highlight, and it also has some dark contour shades. So I'm also going to take this concealer brush out of the pack. This comes with all of the other items. So this brush is a perfect size to get into those little areas under your eyes when you're concealing, but it's also a great size to contour your cheekbones with. So first I'm going to take the Pink Flesh concealer shade, which is the middle one. This is a color correcting concealer, so I'm just going to take that on my brush. As you guys know, most people get like purple sort of tones under their eyes and on their eyelids with veins coming through, and this concealer actually counteracts those purple shades. And also placing that on the top of my eyelid as eyeshadow primer. It's really important to also make sure you get into the inner corner and also the outer corner when concealing, because a lot of people miss those areas and they tend to get really dark. So now that I've laid out that concealer, I'm going to take my beauty blender. My beauty blender is a little bit damp, so I'm just going to go in and blend out that concealer. Now in the palette, I'm going to take this lighter concealer shade here. I'm going to use that to highlight my face a little bit. So I'm going to place that on my chin, down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and also in the center of my forehead. And then taking my beauty blender again just to blend that out. Now to contour, I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette, and just using that same concealer brush, I'm going to carve out my cheekbones. So I'm just going to start off light like this to begin with, and then I'll build it up if I feel like I need to. I'm also going to do around my forehead. So contouring your cheekbones creates the appearance of higher and fuller cheekbones. It sort of narrows your face out a bit and gives your face more structure. I like to contour my forehead. It's a personal preference because it creates the appearance of a smaller forehead. I also like to contour my jawline. This is also personal preference. Well, I guess it all is personal preference, but I like to do this because it creates the appearance of sort of like a sharper jawline, a little bit of a longer neck. And I also like to contour my nose. It just makes your nose look a little bit slimmer and a bit more structured. So a tip when contouring your nose, try and make it as straight as possible, and also the closer that you draw your two lines together, the slimmer the nose will look because you're narrowing the size of the bridge. You can also do under the lip. I don't do too much under there, but it creates a fuller lip because it sort of looks like there's a shadow of your lip bending over. Now that I've done that, I'm going back to my beauty blender. I'm going to take the bum of my beauty blender and start blending out my cheek contour. So now from that same pack, I'm going to take the setting powder. So this is the translucent powder and it's triple milled, so it's super fine, which is amazing for baking. So I'm just going to tip some in the lid and just add my beauty blender in like this from the tip and bake under my eyes. I also like to bake a little bit down the side of my nose just because product sort of tends to slide off my nose. I'm now going to bake under my contour just in case I went a little bit too low. Also just pop a little bit on my chin because I do have oily skin, so I don't really want this part to be too dewy. Now I'm just going to take any fluffy brush and just gently sweep that away. So now I'm going to take the highlight shade in this palette, which is the very far left one, which is the lightest shade. I'm just going to put that on my finger, rub it into my finger a little bit to work the product in. And then I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheekbone. Now I'm not going to put any powders on top of these creams that I've used today because I would like my skin to look more dewy than matte. These products give the perfect amount of dewiness to your skin, as in it's not too dewy where you look oily, but you also have dimension to your face. You don't look matte to a point that your face is all one dimension. I love this highlighter because it's really quite subtle, like it catches in the light when I turn, but when I look front on, it's not too glittery. And they also don't show up too much texture in your skin. On my fingers still, I'm just going to place that under my brow bone a bit. Just because the brow bone is a high point of your face and it's an area that I really like to highlight. I'm also going to go down the bridge of my nose. This also creates the appearance of a slimmer nose. And also on my cupid's bow. If you do like more of a bronze sort of look, then I would suggest leaving it like this. But for someone like me personally, I love a flush of pink to the cheeks. So I'm going to take my Peach Punch by Runway Room, which you guys know is my absolute favourite blush ever. It also has a highlight through it, so it is very glowy. And it absolutely suits every single skin tone. I've never met someone that doesn't like this blush. So I'm just taking a small brush and I'm just going to place a little bit to the apples of my cheek and blending upwards. So to complete this look, I just popped on some mascara and also just a lip gloss by Runway Room. This is a beautiful peachy lip gloss called Summer Days. It smells absolutely amazing. So this is the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video.